If you liked the video, feel free to subscribe. We have battle reports, list videos, and other Warhammer 40K content. Thanks for watching, thanks for stopping by. This video is going over the changes to the Space Marines, specifically for the Salamanders Space Marine Chapter. We will take a look at any core changes to the game that hurt or benefit the Salamanders, the point changes to the Space Marines, as well as any changes to our detachments or named characters. We will finish with an outlook of how the Salamanders should be doing after the March balance update. We also have 3 post-update lists here, 2 2,000 point lists and a 1,000 point list. Now, let's take a look at those changes. We will start with any changes to the rules or detachments or anything like that. For the first changes to Oath of Moment, where you get that +1 to the wound roll, you can only do that if you're using a Codex Space Marines detachment and your army does not include Black Templars, Blood Angels, Dark Angels, Death Watch, or Space Wolves. Now you can't get that +1 to the wound with any of those Divergent chapters if you're using any of those Codex Space Marines detachments. A good change, if only to get the Blood Angels, Dark Angels, etc. Collect more data to hopefully get them on GW's radar to fix. I know a lot of these Divergent chapter detachments aren't the strongest. And here are a few changes that don't really affect the Salamanders or the Firestorm Assault Force, but it's still good to know about these changes. We do have Uriel Ventress that master the fleet ability, where you could give infantry models deep strike. Now you can only do it with Phobos, Gravs, or Tacticus models. This is not something that matters to us as Salamanders as much as the Ultramarines. It is a reason, however, that the Centurion Devastator squad did gain a points buff. Uriel Ventress can no longer give them the deep strike ability. The Stormlance Task Force detachment, it looks like they did catch a nerf on one of their stratagems. It looks like you used to be able to use this on any Adeptus Astartes. Now it is only infantry or mounted. As well as the Lieutenant in Phobos armor, the strategic dispersal ability. Now if that Phobos Lieutenant uses that strategic dispersal ability until the end of the turn, that unit is no longer eligible to declare a charge. So overall, not really any changes to the Space Marine rules that are going to hurt or benefit the Salamanders. Next, let's take a look at the points changes to the Space Marines. I will go over in detail if any of the points changes are towards some of our more used Space Marine units for the Salamanders chapter. We will start with the Space Marine buffs. The Blade Guard Veteran Squad has gone down by 10 points for 3, 20 points for 6. The Centurion Devastator Squad has gone down by quite a bit, 20 points for 3 and a big 40 points for 6. For the Gladius Task Force enhancements, the Fire Discipline enhancement has actually went down by 15 points to 25 points. For the points changes, the Blade Guard, these were already the best choice to pair with Adrax Agatone. The Blade Guard have one of the better defensive profiles for a Tacticus Armor Toughness 4 unit. Adrax with 3 Blade Guard is 165 points now. That is cheap enough to give us a Smash Captain running around threatening units in melee. Adrax has 5 attacks, hitting on 2+, strength 10, AP 2, damage 3, on top of 12 attacks, hitting on 3s, strength 5, AP 2, damage 2 from the Blade Guard. Adrax will also give that entire unit reroll the wound roll. These going down is a bit of a buff for us since we do use these Blade Guard quite a bit in the Salamanders, especially if we do have Adrax Agatone. Then we have the Centurion Devastator squad. It has a movement of 4, toughness 7, 2-up save, 4 wounds, 6 leadership, and an OC of 2. And that's not really a profile we've been waiting for the Salamanders. Their grav guns being damage 3, anti-vehicle 2 seems great until the AP 1 comes up. AP 1 on an anti-tank gun might as well be a pillow launcher. And I would rather their Decimator protocol ability be reroll the wound roll of 1 or the wound roll if the target is on objective. Right now it's reroll the hit roll, and with Oath of Moment giving us reroll the hits already, I would rather this be reroll the wound roll. Long story short, we're not really going to be using these Devastator squads anymore now, even though they have become a fair bit cheaper. Next is the Space Marine points nerfs. The Ballistus Dreadnought has gone up by 10 points to 140 points. The Company Heroes has gone up by 10 points from 95 points to 105. Marnius Calgar has gone up by 10 points, so he's 210 points now. The Predator Annihilator went up by 5. Predator Destructor went up by 10 to 140. The Vindicator went up by 10 points to 185 points. And the Whirlwind went from 180 to 190 points. So that's a 10 points nerf. They don't want us using these Whirlwinds at all. Finally, the Librarius Conclave Detachment, one of their enhancements, has gone up by a big 20 points from 15 points to 35 points. For the nerfs, the Ballistic Dreadnought, our shooty Dreadnought did go up in points, at least it was only 10 points. A lot of our Firestorm Assault list have Ajax with a Blade Guard who went down by 10 points. Those might equal each other out. It depends on how many Blade Guard and how many Ballistics we had in our list. At 140 points now, it is a bit more expensive. It still remains a great little shooting platform for less points than a shooting tank. The company heroes, these going up does hurt. They made a great bodyguard for Vulcan Histan when we didn't want to put him with an Inferno squad or another unit. With 4 wounds each and -1 to the wound roll, they were tough to take out, which is important since Vulcan needs to be visible to the target. He wants to put that reroll the wounds with Torrent and Melta buff for our entire army. And this is done in the shooting phase, so having a tough unit attached to Vulcan that could take a hit was beneficial since we could move him out, pick a target, without worrying about him being blasted off the board in the opponent's next turn. The Vindicators, these were being used a lot in tournament winning Space Marine lists. I understand why they got a nerf. I even made a Salamanders list on the channel using 3 of these in a list, and that will add at least 30 points to that list since I did have 3 Vindicators in it. So those are all the Space Marine changes, and I did highlight the ones that will affect our Salamanders the most. Not a lot of changes, but it's still good to know what has changed. Now let's take a look at these 3 Salamanders lists. Our first list is a Firestorm Assault Force list at 1,000 points. Our Warlord is Vulcan Histan. We do have Ajax Agaton in here as well. Our battle line, we have an Intercessor squad. Other data sheets, 3 Blade Guard to join with Vulcan, a unit of 3 Eradicators, 1 with a Multi-Melta, a unit of 5 Hellblasters, 2 units of 5 Inferno squads. 1 of those Inferno squad is going to join Vulcan Histan, an Infiltrator squad for standing on our home objective. For dedicated transports, I do have 2 Impulsors in here. You could drop one of these Impulsors for another Intercessor squad or something like that. But for this list, I wanted to try 2 transports. 1 for Vulcan Histan and 1 for the Hellblasters. The second list is also Firestorm Assault Force and is 2,000 points. Our Warlord once again is Vulcan Histan. For our other characters, we do have Ajax Agaton, a Captain and Gravis with the Forge and Battle enhancement, just to give that unit a little bit of extra survivability. Then we have a Lieutenant with the Champion of Humanity enhancement, and that allows his unit to ignore modifiers. Our battle line, we do have 2 units of 5 Intercessors. For the other data sheets, a unit of 6 Aggressors with the Flamestorm Gauntlets. They will be joined to that Captain and Gravis. A unit of 6 Blade Guard joined to Ajax and the Lieutenant. A unit of 3 Eradicators, 1 with the Multi-Melta. A big unit of 10 Inferno squad, and then 2 units of 5 Infernus as well. Our final infantry, a Infiltrator squad to stand on our home objective. We also have 2 Land Raiders in this list, a Land Raider Redeemer and the regular Land Raider. This is a rewrite of my double Land Raider list. I have been playing around with the Gladius Task Force for the Salamanders, so this one is a Gladius Task Force 2,000 point list. Once again, the Warlord is Vulcan Histan. Our characters, we do have Ajax Agaton, a Justiciar with the Honor Vehement, and a Lieutenant with the Fire Discipline enhancement. For our other data sheets, we do have 2 units of 3 Blade Guard, 1 for Ajax and 1 for a Justiciar. 2 units of 3 Eradicators with the Multi-Meltas, a big unit of 10 Hellblasters to join with that Lieutenant with the Fire Discipline, big 10-man Inferno squad to join with Vulcan, a 3-man Inceptor squad with the Plasma Exterminators, an Infiltrator squad, and 2 units of 5 Scout squads. For our heavy hitters, we do have the Redemptor Dreadnought with the Macroplasma Inflamers, a Ballistic Dreadnought, and a Brutalis Dreadnought with the Multi-Meltas. These are my 3 post-update lists for the Salamanders. I am interested in playing the Gladius Task Force on the channel just to see the difference between the Gladius Task Force for the Salamanders and the Firestorm Assault Force. Those were the list. Let's move on to some final thoughts. There were not a lot of changes that hurt or helped us in this update. I still say we are overall losers. The Firestorm Assault Force needs something else to give it some more power. Ajax may need an army-wide buff like Vulcan Histan. Vulcan Histan right now makes any of the Infernus models go from OC1 to OC2. So maybe Ajax needs something like that as well, just to buff up the Salamanders army. I wanted to make these lists strong but still fun. There are ways to win competitive games with the Salamanders, but it is tougher than other Space Marine chapters like the Ultramarines. Next week, I am aiming to get back on track with Flamestorm Friday with a how to build a Salamanders Firestorm Assault Force list. Subscribe for weekly battle reports, yes those are coming, list videos, and other Warhammer 40K content. Like I always say, thanks for watching, thanks for stopping by.